Hi there, friends. Great to have you on our stream, our app, our website tonight. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Keith Gibson, and if you have the WBAY app on your streaming device, on your TV, you may be watching us there as well. So great to have you here tonight. I'm going to just take a couple of minutes of your time on this Sunday evening to talk about the big system coming our way for the middle of the week. We've had some mild temperatures of late. We will have a bit of a warm period coming up, but we do have an impactful wintry type system coming in for the middle of the week. So let's get into your forecast here and really talk about the next 48 hours. And let me pop myself up here. Great to see you. I'm all casual right now. We have the Oscars on this evening. We'll have our full broadcast, the news show, after the broadcast of the Oscars wraps on up at some point, likely after 10 o'clock on WBAY TV. But this is a quick preview. If you don't want to wait up for the news tonight, this is where we are headed. So over the next 48 hours, we have some milder air coming our way. For this evening and for the rest of tonight, we're going to have varied amounts of high clouds out there, some stars, overall pretty quiet. We'll eventually cool down into low 20s, some of us into the teens tonight. Wind reasonably light, overall pretty quiet. Now, I think we'll start out with a little bit of sunshine tomorrow and some cloud cover, but during the afternoon we become cloudy. Notice our highs though, we're back into the 40s. It should be a pretty mild day with mid to upper 40s through the Fox Valley. All of us will be in the 40s here. But going into the mid-afternoon and into the evening, there will be a chance for a few showers. A little narrow band of rain will be moving on through. And then we will stay well into the 30s above freezing tomorrow night. And we're back into the 40s for Tuesday. There's likely going to be some additional rain showers around Monday night and Tuesday morning. I think more concentrated, heavier type rain is likely going to be building in by Tuesday evening. Now, after that, we will start to cool down a little bit, and that will allow that rain to switch over to some snow going into our Wednesday, which is now a First Alert weather day. So this is the current situation. We have some scattered clouds out there and some stars. I don't really expect too much active weather tonight or tomorrow morning. But let's zoom out, shall we? This is the big system that we're watching. It's out here in or on the West Coast right now. There's some snow in Nevada. There's a lot of unsettled weather out here. And we will have a parade of storms, it looks like. This one, maybe another one on Friday, especially south of Green Bay, more so down towards Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin and Illinois, and maybe one or two more next week. So it's going to be a fairly active pattern here for the next 1 to 2 weeks. Now, the energy out west is going to cross the Rockies and really spin up a huge storm system for the eastern two-thirds of the country for the middle to end of the week. We're talking severe weather down to the south. For us, we're going to have some of that rain and snow and some wind. This is the upper level of the atmosphere. This is the energy that will kick off the system where we live down here at ground level. And more energy for the end of the week could give rise to that weaker system perhaps in the region on Friday. But we're really focused on Tuesday, Wednesday, and more so Tuesday night into Wednesday. That is where we think the most impacts will be here locally. And this is now a First Alert weather day for this time frame. Tuesday night, Wednesday, we're going to have rain, switching over to some snow. And this is going to be heavy, wet, concrete type snow. If you're going to get the significant snow, it could really be hard to shovel or plow or blow with your blower here. So just be aware of that. Highest totals right now that could be really significant are still trending more so northwest of the Fox Valley, but that is not set in stone here. I still think we are going to have at some point at least a coating to maybe a couple of inches by the end of Wednesday. May not be at the start of Wednesday, but maybe by the end of Wednesday, even in the valley and the lakeshore. We're going to have some gusty wind. And there could be some flooding here. Ground is still frozen, and we anticipate some rain that could be locally heavy here before the snow switch over. And there could be some minor flooding, maybe even some ice jam flooding as some of the ice starts to break on up on the rivers with the mild air and the rain coming on in here before it turns colder. And there's likely going to be some travel issues and even some power outage problems here at some point in the region, at some point during the middle of the week. So that's what we're thinking. Most of the impacts will be Tuesday night into our Wednesday, and then we'll start to moderate and quiet things down going into next weekend. All right, here's Predictor. This is the big picture. We've got this developing area of low pressure. We call this a Colorado low because it's going to be developing in eastern Colorado. This will be moving across the plains and eventually out into the Great Lakes. So this is Monday about noon. Also notice here, I'm going to zoom in just a split second and show you the closer view, but there will be a chance for a narrow band of rain in northeastern Wisconsin Monday afternoon, Monday evening. Generally some light rain, but it is a possibility here. So here's a big area of low pressure going into our Tuesday morning. We will start to have more showery type weather here on Tuesday as temperatures stay mild. But the big area of low pressure gets going down here in Kansas. And this is going to draw up a lot of moisture from the Gulf. And we're going to have a pretty wet system as it comes our way. So this is Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. We will have developing heavier rain in the region here Tuesday evening into Tuesday night with the cold enough air back to the west supporting snow in Minnesota and Nebraska. It's still too warm for that here Tuesday evening, but going into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, especially northwest of the Fox Valley, we'll start to have that switch over sooner. And then as time goes on, we'll have that switch over occur even in the valley and the lakeshore, rain to snow by Wednesday afternoon. So this is Wednesday, 6 a.m. Some of us will still have rain back to the northwest, likely wet snow. The wind will start to crank on up during our Wednesday, and we'll have some issues here. But by Wednesday evening, it starts to wind down. It goes to the east, and things will be improving as we get into our Thursday. So this is really going to be more or less a Tuesday night, Wednesday type event for us here. So if you are doing any traveling Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, your commute could be kind of dicey, and also the Wednesday evening commute could be a little bit dicey around here, depending on how the temperatures go and depending on how much slushy, wet snow can build up on area roadways around here. Just want to let you know I'm monitoring our stream on our Facebook page right now. So if you do want to comment, just chime in on the Facebook feed. If you have any questions, just let me know. So here's that zoomed on in view with predictor. Again, variably cloudy skies for the rest of this evening and tonight. No major issues here. Could see a little bit of sunshine tomorrow morning. I would expect it here. But going into the afternoon, clouds will start to become more numerous, thicken a little bit. This is that little narrow band of light rain that could develop around here. So 2 o'clock, we're thinking southwest of Green Bay. This will kind of get going just a little bit. It's not going to amount to too much, but I do suspect we're going to have some wet weather. And then by about 5 o'clock, just in time for the evening commute, some of us will be contending with some rain, perhaps in Green Bay, Sturgeon Bay, along and maybe north of the Highway 29 corridor. And then that rain chance will continue to spread to the northeast going into the mid-evening. This is 9 o'clock tomorrow. So a better chance for some light rain to the far north. I can't totally rule out a little bit of light icing here in the north if temperatures can be cold enough. We'll see, though. The model is indicating more rain than wintry precip, but we'll just have to watch the temperature profile, especially to the north of Green Bay, as some of this moisture will linger tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. Additional rain showers will likely blossom tomorrow night after midnight. This is 2 a.m. Tuesday morning, so areas of rain will be around here as temperatures stay generally above freezing in the 30s. Now, Tuesday is, at least initially, doesn't look like it's going to be extremely wet Tuesday morning. We will have had some showers overnight, but we may not start out with a lot of significant rain Tuesday morning. However, it's going to be cloudy, and there's likely going to be some mist or some drizzle or some light showers around during the day. This is 4 o'clock in the afternoon Tuesday. We think with that big surge of moisture coming in with the actual storm system, the odds of more significant rainfall will start to ramp on up by our Tuesday evening commute and Tuesday evening itself. And this is 11 o'clock on Tuesday. This run-up predictor is painting a lot of significant heavy or steady rain with a bit of a raw wind from the east and northeast through the valley and the lakeshore, and then back to the northwest where temperatures will likely be getting colder and colder here. This is where we would expect that wet snow to develop first, and because snow will be developing up here first, this is where some of the more significant snowfall totals will likely be, depending on the storm track and how things go. So I do want to caution you, this is just one solution. We still have another day to 2 days to kind of monitor this and see how it's really going to come together. It's all about the storm track. Model consistency is pretty good right now, but this is not set in stone. Again, Tuesday evening, 11 o'clock, rain through the valley and the lakeshore, snow developing back to the northwest. And then by Wednesday morning, this run-up predictor is keeping the rain from the interstate corridor to the lakeshore, and then they get to the northwest of the Fox Valley, basically all wet snow. The exact transition line here, again, we're just going to have to monitor to see how things go on Tuesday morning, or Wednesday morning rather, because if you have rain, your commute really won't be too bad, but if you have a lot of wet snow, your Wednesday morning commute is going to be pretty iffy, especially back here to the northwest, where we think it's likely going to be snow here in the North Woods for most of this event. So just be forewarned, we expect some travel issues here, and the wind's going to start to increase too. So this is midday Wednesday. That transition will likely continue during the morning hours from rain to snow, and this run and predictor ends at noon, and this is our high resolution view. But I'm going to show you the extended run in just a split second. But the transition to all snow may not occur this fast. Time will tell. Temperatures will likely still be above freezing, even at midday in the valley and the lakeshore. So not all of this is going to be accumulating, or it's really going to be slushy. Our snow ratios are really going to be condensed. And, with that light, fluffy snow, sometimes we can get 20 to 30 to 1 type snowfall ratios with very fluffy, dry, powdery snow. This could be like a 10 to 1 ratio or even smaller. So it's going to be very sloppy and wet here. So that's the current thinking here. So I really don't want to put any hardcore specific numbers on my official forecast maps right now. I'm going to show you a couple of model runs after this map. But this is my current thinking. A coating to a couple of inches, that's where we're highlighting in the white here. So just be prepared. All of us should be prepared for at least some wet snow going into Wednesday. Now, out here northwest of the Fox Valley, where we've highlighted the blue areas, this is where I would suspect more significant concrete type snow if it's going to add up. This is where it could be the heaviest, but there's still a chance for a coating to at least a couple of inches, even in the valley and the lakeshore. So, we're not done with winter by any means. We're still running a significant snowfall deficit, but we may add up here a few more inches as time goes on. So that's my thinking. Okay, so let's talk about some of these models here. Melissa, yeah, so this is going to start going Tuesday night into Wednesday of this week, all right? So we just showed you what my generic forecast here. Let's talk about some of these more specific numbers that some of our computer models are spitting out. Again, this is Sunday night. Things will be changing. These numbers will be oscillating back and forth, but they're showing at least the trend. Higher totals generally back to the northwest, lighter amounts in the valley and the lakeshore. So this is the European model run that came in about midday today, and it's really downplaying any significant snow in the valley and the lakeshore with more rain and warmer temperatures versus the snow. Higher totals of snow back to the northwest, but if that storm track is a little bit more to the southeast, or if the rain switches to snow faster, some of these totals down through the valley and the lakeshore could be higher. So so this is one model. Just take that for what it's worth. It's just one model. This is the American GFS model. This updated this evening. Again, it still has some higher end totals back to the northwest, out towards Rhinelander, north central Wisconsin, the UP, but it's still painting a couple of inches to the valley and the lakeshore here. So definitely something to be aware of. Can't totally rule that out depending on how things go and how fast the switchover is. And this is our high resolution model, the one that ends at noon on Wednesday. This doesn't extend into the afternoon Wednesday, so it's not completely getting the entire event. But this is really bullish on a lot of significant heavy wet snow, especially northwest of the Fox Valley, and even painting a couple of inches in the valley. So we'll see here. I just want to let you know it's Sunday night. We're doing this little update for you so you are prepared that we have this storm system coming our way. I don't want you to be blindsided that we've been so warm, and we will continue to be generally warmer than average for the next 10 days, but we're going to get just cold enough on Wednesday as the storm comes on through to produce a good dose of some wet snow. We need the moisture, but we will have some issues around here. So these are the latest snowfall deficits, current snowfall deficits across the region. Ooh, let me shrink that again so you can see all of it. Green Bay, as of today, we are still down 11 inches for the season. Really, all of these cities I'm plotting here are down significantly. It's been a lackluster winter in the big picture. We caught up locally over the last couple of weeks with that very cold and snowy February. But winter as a whole hasn't produced a lot of significant winter weather. Definitely not a lot of big winter storms as the season has evolved thus far. But spring, this is a spring month, March and April, we can get some whoppers around here. So we are running a deficit. We will definitely have a lot of moisture. And initially this is going to be rain, but we will switch over to snow. And the latest thinking is still anywhere from about 1 to 1.5 plus. I suspect some of us could be maybe pushing up to 1 3/4, maybe a little bit higher than that, depending on how things go. But we're all going to get moisture here, and we're probably all going to have some snow at some point by the end of Wednesday here. All right, Eugene, this is my moisture map for you. Hopefully you're still watching here. So 1 to 1.5 inches of total liquid. Some of this will be snow as we transition the rain over to snow Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, okay? This actually goes through Friday, but the bulk of this is going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, now the one other thing that we're going to be dealing with is a lot of wind energy here. So winds could be gusting on Wednesday from the north, 30, 40 plus. So you factor in some gusty wind, some heavy, wet snow, and that could be falling on some pine trees or some other trees. We may have some power outages around here because of the wet snow and the very heavy nature of the snow that's going to be falling around here. So just plan accordingly. If you are susceptible to some power outages from time to time, you may just want to be prepared to have your devices charged and ready to go here, just in case. Don't really expect a widespread scenario type here, but you just have to be prepared this time of year with the wind and the heavy wet snow that can happen during these kind of events. The latest drought monitor that came out last week has been creeping some of the drier, abnormally dry territory back into parts of the area. We still have a moderate drought across the north and down to the southeast of Green Bay. So, we're going to get some significant moisture even up here in the North Woods where the drought has been a little bit more persistent for a little bit longer. So if you're looking for moisture, this is good news here. We're definitely going to have moisture. The downside, though, is that the ground is pretty solid as far as it's frozen. I was looking at some frost depth reports from earlier across our region, and not everyone, but many spots that have been sampled are putting some frost depth still at about 1 to 3 feet across our area here. So the ground is pretty frozen. If we're going to get a lot of liquid on top of it, it will produce some runoff and lead to some flooding. And also we'll have to watch out for some potential ice jam flooding with some rain, mild temperatures that could break up some of the river ice out there. So a couple of things we're watching out for during this event. Again, this is just Sunday night, and we'll just see how things evolve. So this is the bigger run of predictor. This will be extended out into the latter part of the week. Wednesday morning, again, rain, snow back to the northwest. This is all going to switch over to some, it's either going to switch over to a mix and then snow, or just switch over to those big snowflakes. And then we'll have some ongoing snow and wind issues on Wednesday evening for that commute. And then a lot of this snow is going to be winding down by Wednesday night. So when you wake up on Thursday, I think we're done. Should have a pretty nice day Thursday with temperatures in the 30s, a fair amount of sunshine, much lighter wind. And going into Friday, this run of predictor doesn't really show a lot of significant moisture here in our area. But it does want to, let me get this out of here, see if I can move this map. We do have a better chance for some precipitation, some snow, maybe a mix south of Green Bay, southern Wisconsin, and northern Illinois. This would be Friday. And so this would be a second system later this week, but most likely weaker and most likely mainly to our south, but we'll watch it here for the end of the week. So there it goes. And then next weekend should be pretty tame. The jet stream pattern, though, into next week, check it out. It goes from west to east, and those little dips will tend to give rise to some of those storm systems. And the bigger the dip, typically the bigger the surface storm. And we will be concerned about maybe one or two more of these storms for the middle to end of next week and next weekend. So we'll have a couple of things we're watching this week, and most likely we'll be watching a couple of things next week as well. So that is where we are headed tonight. I think worst case scenario, some low 20s and some teens around here. Temperatures have been trending a little bit milder this evening, and we'll see how cold we can actually get. So we may have to boost some of the forecast numbers here, but some 20s, some teens out there. Tomorrow we're thinking clouds and some showers in the afternoon, but some early day sunshine a possibility with highs in the 40s here. It should be a mild day. If you get the clouds a little bit sooner, you may not get into the upper 40s, but I think we may have some extra sunshine for a little bit longer, maybe like Green Bay, Wapaka. So we'll push into the upper 40s here. So it should be a mild day for us. Let's check out that 7-day here real quick. I've got 48 tomorrow. Again, a chance for a few showers in the afternoon and evening. Tuesday, rain will be developing. Shouldn't be like heavy rain all day long, but there could be some lighter showers and some heavier rain going into the evening. But again, well into the 40s, if not around 50 in some spots here on Tuesday afternoon. Your Wednesday will have the rain switch to snow, first alert weather day. And typically, I don't put a 100% chance of precip, but we're going to have a 100% chance of moisture here Wednesday. So let's go with it. And our winds will be pretty strong, could be gusting 20 or 30, 40 plus miles per hour. And that, along with some blowing heavy wet snow, could cause some issues travel-wise. And again, the power situation, we'll watch that. 38 on Thursday. So there's that a respite after the unsettled weather for Tuesday, Wednesday. Friday, we'll watch out for that chance for that system that could be just to our south. We'll be in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Doesn't look to be too bad here, but that is slightly above average. Variably cloudy next Saturday, 39. I've got 45 on Sunday, next Sunday. And don't forget, we spring forward 1 week from today. We will lose an hour of sleep next Sunday. We'll get it back in the fall, but we're going to lose an hour of sleep. So next Sunday, our sunrise will be 7:14, but we're going to get that hour in the evening. So our sunset's going to be at 6:50 a week from today. So if you're looking for extended daylight in the evening, that will start 1 week from today. Let me show you the 10-day temperature trend real quick. Again, this is our Super 7-day. We've got the unsettled weather for Tuesday, Wednesday, the big system we're watching. But just looking at some data, going into early parts of the following week, we may be pushing into the 60s for a day, maybe two, for the first time this spring. Looks like we may do that. There's some model agreement on that. So I got a 62. That would be, let's see, that would be next Tuesday, a week from Tuesday, so the 11th. So we'll see. Definitely more spring-like air than winter air here, but just cold enough for the middle of the week as this system swirls on through to produce some of that wet snow around here. So that's what we got going for you this week. Hopefully you are prepared. You have not put your shovel away or your plow. It looks like we may have to deal with some more of this wintry weather. Now, it's not going to last. This is now time of the year where if we do get some significant snow, it will be eroded by the warming temperatures. Even on cold days with some sun, we'll get that snow melt. And our sun angle now is, I believe, about 38, 39 degrees above the horizon. So that's getting more and more powerful each and every day now. And we will continue the snow melt even after the new snow that falls for the middle of the week. All right, so that's what we got for you this week. Hopefully you are prepared and you can deal with the moisture, the wind, the snow, and then some milder air after that. Quick weather update for you this evening. Thanks for tuning on into the stream. I hope I answered all of your weather questions tonight. And if you missed any of this, you can go back and probably watch the rewind. We'll have an updated look, the full forecast, and all the latest news of the day on Action 2 News tonight at Well, it's supposed to be 10 o'clock, but there's going to be sometime after the Oscars. Hopefully it's not after 11, but sometime after the 10 o'clock hour, most likely here on WBAY TV. So with that, have a great night, and we'll see you later on.